So, it's been a week. I haven't done any Minecraft streaming this week. Got kind of burned out on Minecraft. Wanted to play something else for a while. Played something else for a while, but then I got kind of caught up. So I'm going to explain a little bit in what I get caught up in. But first, let me come over to the Discord and get fired up in the streaming. And there we go. We are voice connected. And let me see if I can actually get my screen to share this time. Hello. Last week I couldn't get my screen to share at all. This week it seems to still be having trouble. Wow, what the hell is going on here? Okay, there we go. And have we got the preview? We have got it. Where is it? No, that's not it. There! All right, we can actually get things up and kicking on the stream. There we go. All right, I feel much better. I can actually get the stream up and kicking on the Discord. Anyway, since nobody's actually shown up yet, I'm a little bit early, but since nobody's actually shown up yet, if you're watching this, well, you're clearly watching it on YouTube. So number one, do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all of that shit. And number two, God damn it, I'm going to have to sneeze here in a minute. Number two, jump up my Discord so you can watch these live, and that will be even more fun because you'll be able to like interact with me and shit, which nobody ever does because they don't show up for the stream. So I'm streaming to nobody. Every streamer knows what that's like. You always spend some time streaming to nobody in the beginning. Of course, it's 6 months into the beginning, closing up on 7. But regardless, let's talk a little bit about what exactly I've been up to over the past week that distracted me from Minecraft and indeed from pretty much every other game. Netflix, a couple of years ago, did a new version of Watership Down. And Watership Down is one of my favorite books. And this is the cover of the book that I have. I have a copy of Watership Down that has this exact cover. And this book was really, really important to me as a kid, not only because it was a great book, but also because it was a great animated movie, which had the involvement of Ralph Bakshi, who's one of my favorite animators of all time. And you can see right down here that we've got, let me scoot up here and just kind of put it in brush mode. This right here. This is the animated version that I saw when I was a kid in the 70s, and it's hideously traumatic. If you watch it today, you'll be like, they let children watch this? Yeah, we did that in the 70s. And up here you have a bit from the Netflix version, which is computer animated, but a lot of the same things are visible because you can see right here. You know, we got Hazel. And we got Bigwig, and we got Fiver over here, Hreru. I think that's him in the back there. But you got all of the different rabbits. All of the same rabbits are in both versions of the story, of course. And the new Netflix Watership Down went all with this computer animation and shit, and not with the traditional old school classic animation stuff. And I realized as I was watching this that I have no fucking clue how to draw or paint rabbits. And that kind of bothered me. And I was like, I should work on painting rabbits. And I did not get very far. I did not do a very good job. But I'm going to continue working on that right now on the stream. That's the thing I'm going to do this week is fuck around and try to paint some rabbits, which may be a terrible idea. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting with this. Is I need to get around to trying to paint some rabbits, and there's some other stuff that I've done. You may notice here that I have got some new brushes. I've got my draw brush, this is the Legion of Badass draw brush that I did on a previous Sketch Weekly, I think 2-3 weeks ago. And I've also done a shading brush. And the shading brush is, it doesn't seem to do much of anything at first. But if you press hard, it will actually, why is that so small? It should be larger. Okay, so like if you grab some color here, okay, and let me scoot up here and get rid of all those. But over here on the color layer, if I just kind of move my brush, it doesn't do much of anything. But if I press, you can see that now it actually lays down some color. And if I'm not pressing very hard, you can see that it will smudge and smear the brush. It kind of acts as a combination coloring and blending brush. So for example, if I come down here and lay down a different color, I can now take that color and I can blend it in. And blend it in over here. And this is not working well because I got my brush way too large. But let's go through that with a smaller brush size here. We'll go put some yellow over here, and we'll put some cyan over here, and then we'll just kind of blend that together. And you can see that this is not really working that well. I've been having trouble getting it to perform reliably, because what I want to do is I want to just kind of blend them together right in there. But I don't seem to be getting the results that I want. I should be able to blend the cyan into the yellow, but it seems to be just blending more yellow into it. But I can blend the gray into the yellow just fine. I can blend the gray in, I just can't seem to blend the cyan anywhere. And that's frustrating. But I've been messing around trying to get that to work better. I can sort of give it a lost edge, but it doesn't work very well with multiple colors. It's like if I lay down a new yellow there, then I have trouble getting that yellow to blend into the blue effectively. I've been trying to work on brush design and get that sort of stuff, but we're going to be sticking mostly with the draw brush anyway. And I have also switched over, and what I've got now is all of my different layers and whatnot are now vector layers. And because they're vector layers, I can scroll in here, and if I come over to my object tool right here, then you can see that when we move in, you can see that we've got control points in here. Like if I come over, pinch vector line, I can move the lines around because we're now working with vectors and not strictly with raster graphics. So by doing that, moving stuff around, so I can come over here to control points. You can see now that we've got all of the control points that are in there. I can mess around with those and move them here and there and everywhere. Smooth things out, and I can simplify the vector line. Redraw a vector line. And you can do all kinds of stuff like that. Like, let's kick that over, and then we can pinch And let's undo that, and we'll go, first of all, simplify. We'll simplify substantially. Then we'll go to pinch. We'll move the vector line around, and you can do all kinds of neat stuff with this. And I've switched over to using these vector layers instead of the raster layers, so that I'll have much more powerful tools to work with my line art. And that's kind of the direction that I'm wanting to go with that. And so that's a thing that I did. And in addition to adding all of these vector layers and whatnot, I've got the reference layer. I think I showed that last time. But I have a vector sketch layer where it draws in red, and a vector composition layer where it draws in blue, and a vector line layer where it draws in black. And those vector lines that I draw in black, I can turn around and go, you know what, I think I would rather have them like a shade of brown like that, and bam, it just happens. Or I can just undo that. And then I have my color layer, and I have my shading layer, and the color layer is still a raster layer. And the shading layer is, and this would be easier to see if I use some actual color here. I first of all delete that thing I drew. So we'll start with the yellow. And then the shading layer is in multiply mode. So because it's in multiply mode, when I lay some shading down in here, that will multiply over top of the shading that I've already got. And I should really set that to clip to layer below. And then what I can do with that is I can pull up the blending brush, and I can just kind of, no, that's the eraser. But I can pull up the blending tool, and I can soften that. Soften that layer right there. Get that a little bit more of a lost edge in the shading. So I got all this stuff in here that is designed to make the shading a little easier, and to make the coloring a little easier, and to make all of this other stuff a little bit easier. I'm starting to kind of get more comfortable with the tools that I'm using. And being more comfortable with the tools I'm using, naturally, I'm doing a little bit more customization and moving stuff around. And you can see when we go over here to brushes that I'm tagging everything that I actually make for myself. I'm tagging it with the LOB tag, so I can tell it's a Legion of Badass brush. And eventually, what I will have is I will have a collection of brushes, and I'll probably stick those up as Clip Studio Paint assets that you can download for free in the little asset library, because that seems like a smart thing to do. But anyway, I'm just kind of avoiding the topic of I need to get around to actually where did my screen sharing go? My screen's no longer being shared for some reason. Let me over here, put that back up. There we go. I think something went on with my connection to the server. But anyway, nobody's paying attention anyway. There's nobody here. Nobody gives a shit. That's typical for my streams. We all know what that is like. We all know how that works. So anyway, I'm going to start off right here, and kind of the first thing that I want to go over is sort of just basic kind of rabbit anatomy, I guess. Let's turn on this thing right here, and let's grab a couple of colors. These will work. That's a pretty little color for the eye. I'll grab that one. Yeah, there we go. That's a neat little palette of colors. So we'll grab all of those and turn off that layer. Now, the first thing that you need to think about is you got kind of a pear shape to the body right here. So I just kind of approximate that right there. And then what you've got haunches over here, and I'm going to use a slightly different color. Now, you've still got the hips are still right in here, and you still got the thigh is coming up like so, but then the lower leg is coming down over here, and there's a buttload of muscle on this. Okay, so because there's a buttload of muscle on it, you get this big old haunch kind of sits right here, and then that comes down, and of course the foot comes way out here, and it has that paw at the end. And then up here in the front, this is more or less, they tend to sit kind of straight-legged, but they still have the shoulder and the elbow, and down here they've got the hand and the paw and all of that. But the hand is sort of, they kind of sit on the fronts of their paws like this. And so you've got the fingers are what they actually sit on. Let me again get a slightly different color. You got the fingers are what they sit on. The hand kind of comes up here like this. And you have right here what's called the dew claw. And then the rest of the leg is once again divided in half right about there by the elbow, just as it goes up to the shoulder. And that's how all of that fits together, is you've got that kind of the toes, and then you've got the palm of the hand they're not actually walking on. But then back at the back, you got that thumb. You got that thumb all the way up there. So you got kind of this structure right here, where the little dew claw is sticking off the back of the arm all the way back. And then up on top, a rabbit's skull is just kind of a nice clean sweep, like so. And then here's the eye. And it kind of sits there like that. And they will sort of collapse their heads down into the body a lot of the time. And then for the ears, you've got kind of this teardrop shape on the inside, and you've just got kind of this rounded shape on the outside. And their ears will lie flat and droop down like here, or they'll be like back over here. They'll turn forward, they'll prick up. Depending on what they hear and where it's coming from, they can move into the sides. They can do all kinds of shit with their ears. But that's pretty much how the rabbit anatomy works. And you've got the shoulder comes down off of here, and there's the elbow, and there's the palm, the knee, all of that. And then here's the rib cage right there. But you got kind of this pear-shaped body is the easiest way to put it. You got this big thick belly. So here's like the rib cage, here's the spine, here's the pelvis, and they got all of their guts are sitting right in there. And that's what you're looking at when you're drawing a rabbit. Let's get that off of there, and we'll get that off of there. And now we'll try to kind of rough in sort of the shape of a rabbit right here. Here's the ears up here. Skull of the rabbit. Head of the rabbit, rather. And I'm just kind of trying to, I don't have any particular like purpose in mind of, oh, and there's a little fluffy tail back here, of course. But that's the structure of the rabbit. And when the rabbit is running, that haunch kind of spreads out. And you got this big thick thigh muscle, and you got this big thick calf muscle. And you got this powerful foot right here that kind of curls over. We got rabbits down our driveway. That's become kind of a thing. And I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just fucking around. This is a Sketch Weekly episode. It's the same thing it always is. What are you gonna do tonight, Brain? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Ramble incoherently about painting and drawing and shit. And if we were to go draw a rabbit, then it's basically the same concept. The hell? It's basically the same idea. You want that little pear-shaped body. You want that haunch. And you want the arms to come down here. And you have another arm back here. Frequently, a quadruped will lift one arm up and have it in kind of this position. And then the other one will be straight down. And that's kind of the, I might need to move, I might not. And they're prepared to go in one direction or another. It's the same basic idea. You have this pear shape to the body. You got this kind of sloping head right here. It's kind of round on the back, flat on the bottom, round on the top. And then you've got a very wide, round eye. And it has a kind of tail on it. I was thinking about that little tail, in fact, and I was thinking, you know how women will do like women will do their eyeshadow and they'll kind of wing out the eyelashes a little bit, you know? And when they wing out their eyelashes like that, I wonder if on some level, because men are disgusting and terrible, I wonder if on some level men respond to that because that sort of tail on both sides of the eye makes them look like a prey animal. I frequently wonder about stuff like that. The nose is something I don't really know how to do yet. And there's kind of a, you look at them from the front and they have kind of this sort of thing going on. With the eyes in here. And then there are the ears. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I've been just fucking around all week drawing rabbits. So I'm an idiot. We start from that, and here we have kind of a very wide sort of eye. Prey animals have very wide set eyes that are out to the side, like so. And of course we all know that rabbits have those buck teeth, like that. So you get kind of this structure to the rabbit, and then you throw some ears on there. Look, it's Usada pecora. And that's sort of the basic structure of the face. And if we were to do this in kind of a 3/4 view, look kind of like this, because this kind of bulges up, you'd only see the one eye. So it kind of look in this kind of way. I know I'm doing a terrible job on this, but what do you expect? I don't know how to draw rabbits. It's just something I've been fucking around with for the last week for no good reason. Because why am I ever going to need to draw a rabbit? Why is this ever going to be a thing? Why do I care? I don't know. You know, I want to draw a rabbit people or something. Hey, furry porn commissions are like totally a thing that's worth doing. Rabbits, of course, have whiskers. I haven't paid much attention to how rabbit whiskers look. Are rabbit whiskers short or long? They're long. They go up very much? No, I think they come basically straight out. I think that's all they do. Yeah. I think they just come pretty much straight out like this, instead of going really high up or anything like that. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know why anybody cares about that. I don't know why anybody watches this shit. I lost 3 subscribers on this channel last month. That's how great my channel is. I'm actually negative growth. Probably because I stopped doing Minecraft. I haven't really stopped doing Minecraft. I took a week off from doing Minecraft. I've actually been playing the 1.19 snapshots rather a lot. Being left-handed, it's difficult for me to draw faces facing to the left. Thanks to digital work, I can just cheat and make the face point the other way. I can just put it back and go, look! I did a good job, except I didn't, and I know I didn't, so that's not very helpful, is it? It's actually not too bad. I'm trying to get that swoop. There's a nose right there. There tends to be this kind of difference in the fur right through here. You can see it in the Ralph Bakshi animation. You can see in the way that we've got this little kind of cap on the top of the rabbit's head. That's totally a thing that actually exists on real rabbits, is that that difference in shading. And similarly, you've got a particular color for the muzzle, and you've got a particular color for this kind of internal area around the eye, and you got a particular color for the top, and then you got the ears. Hold on while I blow my nose. Okay, I have no idea where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of fucking around drawing rabbit heads. Or I could draw like creepy messed up shit. How do these differ from lizard heads? They're kind of similar. You just kind of, the lizard head kind of comes out from the body. Yeah, there's more of a drop down to the, because lizards tend to be predators, insectivores at the very least. So because of that, their eyes are closer together and they face forward. Whereas a predator, or a prey animal like a rabbit, is going to have eyes that are farther apart and they face out to the sides. So have a wider field of vision, they can see if something's coming to eat them, because things coming to eat them is kind of their natural state of existence. And that's what's going on there. I should tag this Sketch Weekly with furries and pull in that demographic. Let me duplicate this. And now that we turn that off, we can turn that off. But we saved the work, so that I held on to that. That's still a thing that I've got. I'm not throwing it away. It's a bad habit that I've got, just throwing stuff away. Something like that. This should be a... Yep. Let me pull this up into place here. And come over here to the vector eraser. Oops. Okay, back to the brush. Okay, that works. I'll take that. This right here, this needs to kind of come in a bit on that. I'm not sure how to make the rabbit's mouth look right. I don't really like the big swoop upward. That's more like it. Still looks kind of like a snake. Put the little ear hole back here for a snake and put some scales. That doesn't look particularly good. We'll just put an ear there, we'll put an ear here. There we go. Got something approximating some. It does actually read like a rabbit, doesn't it? Still the same basic anatomy as a human arm. Bicep and the tricep. The olecranon process right in there. There's the knuckles of the humerus. Yeah, the condyles. You have the same basic stuff going on. I mean, mammals are mammals, you know? It's the fun thing about it. And the shoulder comes down farther than I think it does. It always does. It always comes down farther than I think it should. But, yeah. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I got going on there. I feel dumb doing this. I really do. I'm not really trying to do this in a particularly realistic style because I'm only really going for an anime style in the first place. So, so kind of cartoony is fine. But still not especially happy with it. I need to work more on the ears. Because there's kind of this folding in effect that goes on where there's this teardrop, and this is really kind of the skin of the ears is folding in and coming up around there. So what you've got when you look kind of down here at the bottom, you've got this little fold of skin here. But then up here, you've just got kind of this sort of cup thing going on, and then that's up around here, and then up around here you've got sort of this, and then way up here at the top you've just got sort of that thing going on. So it sort of curls in around itself. It kind of comes in, and it's very sort of, it's just sort of like a curled in piece. I'm not saying anything that makes any sense at this point, but that's sort of that's where things are with that. Is the rabbit ears. Turn that off because I don't need it. Deselect. Not sure what else I need to do in here. That's kind of there's the eye area. Here's the muzzle area. That muzzle area kind of takes up a certain amount of space right there. And then you've got kind of a mask that comes around. So I kind of do have this. There's a muzzle, and the nose is kind of sitting in there, and there's this eye area, helmety area, and then you've got this space here. It's kind of a thing that goes on. And that's sort of how that's how the coloring fits together. Yeah. I'm not having a good day today. This is not a good stream. It's really not. Yeah, I'm putting the results of Sketch Weekly on Instagram, and honestly, I don't expect that this is going to be even worth posting there. It is some terrible shit. I don't even know why I'm bothering. Persevere. Persevere. So we've got the nose kind of structured like this, which again is sort of folding in on itself. A person's nose isn't that different from this. I mean, it's like if you look directly down at the nostrils, it's like if you look straight up somebody's nose, then you get kind of this thing going on, and that's pretty much how the rabbit nose is shaped. Just kind of that little thing. You got a bit there, and a bit there in the middle. This kind of folds around. So what if we kind of combine this and tried to make like a... I'm feeling really kind of embarrassed and stupid about I'm doing a stream about drawing fucking rabbits and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And there's really a whole lot of negative self-talk going on in my head right now that I'm trying to push through. And continue the stream anyway. Oh, you know what was really kind of fucked up and creepy was that, what was that rabbit from Lars von Trier's Alice? That was messed up. White Rabbit by Lars von Trier and Alice. Lars von Trier, White Rabbit, Alice. Wasn't it Lars von Trier? I think it was, wasn't it? I'm not sure. Let me see if that's the right... There's a movie called Alice. That's it. That's the one. Is that not Lars von Trier? Yeah, it's Jan Svankmajer. Why did I think it was Lars von Trier? Oh, good. Weird, fucked up. Svankmajer. Gotta use the correct spelling. He's Czech, I think. Let me see if I can get a good image of that, because that was messed up. Yeah, there we go. That is the Svankmajer White Rabbit. It is a taxidermy nightmare. And that is horrifying. Let's move that into our reference area and let's drag it into an area that we can actually use it as reference. I mean, look at that. That's horrible. That's disturbing and distressing. What the hell? What is wrong with this man? Rabbits 2. Okay, turn that off. Delete all the vector lines, and yeah, he put human eyes in it. That's part of the problem. And part of the other part is he's got the really long incisors on this fucker. It's got no nose. There's no nose on it. So that's awful. But it is very, very fucked up because it's a prey animal with predator eyes, which is just that's just wrong. There should be some space there. let's back that up a little. So if we start off, if we go, here's our, if we go, okay, here's our rabbit head, sort of, and we're going to go, here's one eye, here's the other eye. Already we've gotten kind of fucked up because the eyes are facing the wrong direction, and then we need to put a bit of a lip on there. I'm going to pull that around, and we'll make the teeth excessively long. That's kind of messed up. Yeah, he put some big fluffy cheeks on his. Fur. Drawing fur. That's not easy. We should probably look at how to do that. That should probably come from like a furry tutorial, because we're not really looking at drawing realistic fur, but at we're looking at the kind of stylized fur that goes on furries, not the realistic fur that goes on this nightmare. Yeah, that was a messed up movie. I haven't seen that movie in forever. I wonder if that's streaming anywhere. It was really messed up. Let me see if we can find it. It's on Hoopla and Canopy, but no place else. Oh well. Not watching it on one of those bullshit sites. Let's think about this in terms of an archetype. We want that sort of wide staring eye going on. We also want that long sort of animalistic snout going on. God, that thing's horrible. Jeez. That whole movie was just nightmare fuel. It really was. Persevere. I feel like everything I'm doing right now is dumb and stupid, and I shouldn't be doing it, but I'll need to go and kind of look at how to do fur of various sorts. And of course, on Spank Myers, Alice, the rabbit wore a hat, so he didn't have those ears sticking out, but yeah, it's kind of the those terrible staring eyes. God, that's awful. That's an awful picture of an awful thing. It's just, oh my God, that thing's It's so distressing. If you actually see the movie, it's constantly like opening its mouth and just like, then it makes these chattering noises. And it's a horrifying movie. I loved it though. It was great. I watched Eli, which was really good. It's not what I expected, and they did a good job of something in that movie that that I think a lot of people kind of fuck up. And what they sort of fucked up was in the in the telling of the story. A lot of people want to have big revelations. I'm going to go ahead and call a halt on this. I've only got like 10 minutes left to get my hour in, but I'm going to go ahead and save this off as Rabbit 2 Clip Studio format. But yeah, in Eli, there is, of course, the big secret of what's going on, and that big secret is revealed bit by bit, but there's not a lot to the secret. People always want to go, there's this big secret, you got to uncover this, you got to uncover this, you got to uncover this. And in Eli, there are like 3 pieces of the puzzle that get uncovered. It's just kind of bam, bam, bam. But they get uncovered about 10 minutes apart. So it's like you get one piece of the puzzle, and then 10 minutes later you get another piece of the puzzle, and 10 minutes later you get another. And that's like your entire Act 2, and that's what gets you into Act 3, is that very simple sort of 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So it takes 20 minutes to put all this stuff together because you get your first clue, which is like a half hour in, and you get like first clue, then you're 40 minutes in, second clue, and 50 minutes in for the third clue, and that's where you proceed on to Act 3, where you get like the big revelations and the twist and the ticking clock thing and all of that, and you start finding out what's really going on. But the pieces of the puzzle that get put together are, they're very small pieces. They're very small little bits of a relatively simple puzzle. It's just you didn't have all 3 of the pieces. And once you have all 3 of the pieces, you go, oh, I see how those go. It's beginning, middle, end. It's that simple. It's not hard to put 3 pieces together. But they kept the pieces separated long enough that by the time you put it together and you figured it out and you went, oh, I see what's going on, that it then begins to turn everything on its head. And it's really a cool movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Had a good ending. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off this stream. I don't know that I did anything worth a shit in today's. Yeah, I'm gonna toss this horrible thing over on Instagram and make excuses for not doing a very good job. So Instagram, and I just paste? I cannot. Okay. So let's do a save as rabbit2.png, and we'll pop upward, and we'll save that there. Yeah, and then we'll drag that over from there. This week's I did, however, of the Nightmare Fuel Yeah, that'll be it. I don't know why I even bother posting anything on Instagram. This is a terrible idea. Okay, that's I'm gonna go ahead and bail on this. Anyway, thanks for showing up. Do a little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all of that shit. Okay, bye.